Okay, guys, the following is going to be the review of the 6 weeks test to see what answers you got correct, which ones you missed, and we're going to start doing corrections on them, figure out what you needed to know, what was important, how to set up each question, and just to pretty much see what you did that is different than from what I taught you guys to do. So follow along and make sure you know how to get these correct answers. So question number 1 says, a machine used 48% of its oil. What fraction of its oil did the machine use? So they are asking me for a fraction. Plus, I also see percent. So I'm thinking back, what lesson did our teacher talk to us about that dealt with fractions and percent? And that lesson happened to be Free Dr. Pepper. FDP. So I put Free Dr. Pepper on my paper, and it is giving me a percent. So they are starting me here, and they want me to go back to a fraction. So I'm going to think to myself, did our teachers show us a way to get a percent to go back to a fraction? Yes, he showed us that we can do it in one step. So the one step was to take your percent and put it over 100. So the percent we're starting with in this question is 48%. I want to switch it back to a fraction, so let me put it over 100. So it's going to be 48 over 100. So by doing that, I end up with my answer of 48 over 100. The only problem is that I don't see my answer as one of the answer choices. So there are several things that I can do here. One, I could switch my fraction to a decimal and see which decimal matches over here. Or I can do another thing where I can try to see if my fraction is an equivalent fraction or an equal fraction to answer choice A, B, C, D. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take our answer and let's put it next to every answer choice. 48 over 100. 48 over 100. 48 over 100. 48 over 100. So the next thing I'm going to do to see if they are equivalent is to cross multiply them. So I'm going to have 100 times 12, which is 1200. And then I'm going to do 25 times 48. And just to save time on the review, we're going to go ahead and put it in the calculator. So we have 25 times 48 will be 1200. I see that both answers are the same, which means 48 over 100 is the same as the fraction 12 over 25. So A is looking really good. Look at letter B. 100 times 1 is 100. 48 times 48 is 2,304. Those answers are not the same. Letter B is out. 100 times 1 is 100. 4 times 48 is going to be 192. Those are not the same. Answer choice C is out. 100 times 1, 100. 12 times 48, 576. So those are not equal. Letter D is out. And our only correct answer is letter A. A represents 48% of the oil. on to question number 2. Priscilla has 14 yards of fence to put around a playground. She uses all the fence to make 3 sections that are the same length. Which expression does not equal the length of one of these sections in yards? So we're looking for the question, let's see, which expression does not equal the length of one of these sections in yards? It's a not question, so we're going to turn our page to the side, put not real big here. And one of the things that I understand about the STAR test is that there has to be only one correct answer. So if I end up with 3 answers that are the same, I know that it's not going to be either of those 3 answers. It's going to be the one that is different. So there are several ways that I can work this problem out. I'm looking for the one that is different. So one possibility is I can divide each answer and see what it gives me. Or I can start naming the type of fractions that I see. So let's name the type of fraction that f is. 14 divided by 3. 14 is on top, 3 is on the bottom. This is an improper fraction. 14 divided by 3, this is an improper fraction. 3 divided by 14, that's going to look like this. 3 over 14. That is a proper fraction. And over here, what you say first goes in the house. So what's in the house is a 14, which means that's what I said first. 14 over 3. That is also an improper fraction. So I end up with 3 of the answer choices being improper and one of them being proper. That's obviously the one that is not the same as the other 3. So we have answer choice G for number 2. What you also could have done, because I wanted to show you different ways of solving it, you could have just done this. Solved what is 14 divided by 3. So here, 14 goes in the house, 3 on the outside, turn it into money, bring up the decimal, underline the first number. I have 1 controller. Can 3 people play? No. 14 controllers. Can they play? Yes. 4 times 12. Sister subtract 2. Brother bring down. 20 controllers. Can 3 people play? Yes. 6 times. Sister subtract 2. Brother bring down. I have 20 controllers. Can 3 people play? Yes. 6 times. 18 to remember. 2 is our remainder. It's going to keep going forever and ever and ever. So we can put a repeating bar over the 6. So I find out that letter F represents $4.66 with a repeating bar. And if that one gives me $4.66, so is letter H. It will also be $4.66 repeating bar. And then I had 14 in the house, 14 in the house. 3 on the outside, 3 on the outside. So when I divide this, it's going to give me the same answer, 4.66%. Or sorry, 4.66 repeating 6 forever and ever and ever and ever. The last one, 3 divided by 14. 3 on the inside, 14 on the outside. Turn it into money, bring up the decimal, underline the first number. I have 14 controllers. Can 3 people play? No. I have 30 controllers. Can 14 people play? Yes. 2 times. That's 28. Sister subtract. Brother bring down. I have 20 controllers. Can 14 people play? Yes. 1 time. That's 14. 6. I can stop. My answer looks like money. So the answer to letter G is 0.20. 21 cents. And it is the one that is not the same as the other three. So letter G is correct. Question number 3. The table shows the portion of a class project that 4 students have completed. Which list shows the students in order from greatest amount of the project completed to least amount of the project completed? So let's highlight our question. It is wanting us to put them in order from greatest, which is the biggest, to the least, which is the smallest. So we're going big to small number here. So we're ordering big to small. I see fractions, decimals, and percents. So this is another FDP problem. Free Dr. Pepper. So let's look at Marcy. One of the things that our teacher told us at the very beginning of the year was to switch everything to decimals. Make everything look like money. So if I have a percent and I want to switch it back to a decimal, our teacher taught us how to do that. We have to move the decimal 2 spots to the left. So let's look at Marcy here. Marcy is 34.2%. So I'm going to do exactly what my notes tell me to get it to look like money. Move that decimal 2 spots to the left. 1, 2. I end up with 0.342. Now, I don't just want to get rid of the 2, but I do want to start looking at my answers like money. So I'm going to box in what my money answer would be, which would be 34 cents for Marcy. 34 cents. The 2 would be on the outside. Caden has 41.5%. 41.5%. Let me move my decimal 2 spots to the left to get rid of the percent. 1, 2. I end up with 0.415. Let's box in just our answer as money. 41 cents. 12 divided by 25. We're looking at decimal 48. Decimal 48. And then Ava 4/10, we're looking at decimal 40. So all of our answers now look like money. We have 34 cents, 41 cents, 48 cents, 40 cents. The question said put them in order from the biggest number to the smallest. So the biggest number that I see here would be 48 cents, which means Dexter goes first, and letter A has him first. Good. Letter B does not, so B is out. Letter C does not, C is out. Letter D does, so D is good. Second one, after 48 cents, Caden, 41 cents. Caden goes second, not Ava, so A is out. D, Caden goes second. Perfect. Answer choice D. So then Ava would go to see, after 41 cents, you have 40 cents. Ava would go third, and the last one would be Marcy. So Ava and Marcy. Check, check. So that was the first 3 questions. Part 2 will start off on question number 4.